This week in the Restroom, we get our anime on to flush a cultural appropriation turd from 2017. We've got do-it-yourself wigs, skin-tight yoga suits, boring action scenes, whitewash casting, and actress Scarlett Johannson channeling her inner cyborg in a performance so bad, she makes Cyborg 2 look like Terminator 2. It's Ghost in the Shell, and before we flush it, we're gonna take it out and play with it a little. Restroom Cinema. We're here to flush it, so you don't have to see it. Greetings, everyone. I am Honor Knight, your head cinematic flusher right here in the Restroom. As always, I'm joined by my lovely co-cinematic flusher, Midwest movie mogul, Colleen Griffin.
Hey.
Both raging Buddha B-movie queen Norcrest and sassy cinephile Sarah Pullen are out of the Restroom this week. Sitting in for them is one half of the Steel Cage radio team and one of our favorite extended co-flushers, Dee Moreau.
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to be back.
Also joining us as part of our extended co-flushing team this time out is one half of the heterosexual life partners from the BlokeBusters podcast. BlokeBusters is a movie chit-chat show that covers all types of cinema from the latest releases to the worst franchises. Please welcome back Paul, This Ain't Your Mama's Anime, Hawkins.
And apparently I'm not one of your favorite guests on the show. No, I'm not bad. I'm not at all.
We only bring him back for the really good. Yeah, Paul, it's not an Adam Sandler film, so get off my shit.
We're starting this off on a great tone.
Yeah. There you go. Let's kick off this flush with a round of Thunder Dump. Blow some ass. I'll put 60 seconds on the Restroom clock, and we're going to go around the cinematic bowl to see who has the worst alternate title for this week's cinematic turd. The loser will then get to read the RSS, that's Restroom Stall Stats, in a funny voice of my choosing. Here we go. Griff!
Lost in translation.
Dee Dee!
All shell, no ghost.
Not bad. Paul!
Fuck you, Rupert Sanders.
Wow, angry one. I had Robo Whitey. Think about it. Griff!
Major malfunction.
No, Paul, who the hell is there? Dee Dee.
The whitewashing of Section 9.
Yeah, Hawkins.
Ghost in the Shell of a Franchise.
Oh, that's a really good one. I like that one. I had Snow White and the Cyborgs. Think about that one. Griff.
Robocunt.
Oh, see, that's better than mine. All right, you redeemed yourself. Dee Dee.
The Terminatrix.
Nice. Paul. Paul.
The worst adaptation since The Cat in the Hat.
And that is time. Oh, man, excellent finish on there, Paul. All right, that was a pretty good round of Thunder Dump. Of course, there has to be a big loser this time. Of course, the loser is Colleen Griffin. Sorry, Griff, you blew it on that second one. And obviously, she's thrilled by the silence. There you go, Griff. You're going to read your RSS Restroom Stall Stats in the voice of an angry anime nerd. Whatever that's going to sound like, have at it.
Ghost in the Shell is a 2017 American science fiction action film directed by Rupert Sanders and written by Jamie Moss, William Wheeler, Aaron Kruger, based on the Japanese manga of the same name by Masamune Shirow. It stars Scarlett Johannson, Takashi Kitano, Michael Pitt, Pilu Asbeck. Oh, really? You're gonna put the worst character on Game of Thrones in this movie? Okay, whatever. Chin Han and Juliette Binoche. Set in a near future. That's what you all sheeple want to think. When the line between humans and robots is blurring, the plot follows the Major, a cyborg super soldier who yearns to learn her past. Her past is that she wouldn't go with me to prom. On Rotten Tomatoes, Ghost in the Shell has an approval rating of 45%.
Yeah. All right, well, there you go. There's your very nerded up Thunder Dump stats for this week. Great job. You definitely had inspiration. Hey, guys, if you like Asian films but don't like to read subtitles or hear thick accents, boy, have I got the film for you.
God.
I haven't seen this many white people in one place since the opening of a P.F. Chang's. Hey-o.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow.
I know. You'll see all the white people at like discount BlokeBusters.
Oh, my God.
Paramount, DreamWorks, Reliance, Shanghai Film Group, and Hua Hua Media Production logos at the head of this turd made me completely forget what turd I was watching. My God, there was a lot of production people for this piece of shit, wasn't there?
Wow.
That goes on for like a minute before we even get to an opening shot. The last one's funny, though. It says Hua Hua Media, not to be confused with Hubba Hubba Media, which actually distributes porn. Hey-o.
Oh, boy.
Okay, stop.
Well, it's a cheap movie. I can't make a cheap joke.
Well, there were some moments.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that. Yes, there were. A Rupert Sanders film, or How to Bang Your Lead Actress While Making a Big Budget Film. Hey-o.
Oh, my goodness.
Nobody wants to talk about that? Okay. I think he tried to bang ScarJo on this film. I bet I think that's his MO. I don't know if you knew that, Didi, with that Rupert Sanders.
No,
directed.
I didn't.
He directed Snow White and the Huntsman, and he had an affair with Kristen Stewart, who's the lead actress. While he was married, by the way. He had no business being anywhere near this material. And he's not a very good director, in case anybody wants to chime in on that. But I bet he signed on because Scarlett signed on.
No, I think that's something we can all agree on.
What, did he want to bang his lead actress?
Like, no. Like, out of all the Ruperts, he's like the least Rupert you want to work with.
Paul, was that a big point of contention with you as well when you saw the director?
I
Paul's still speechless here. He's not really. Are you gearing up to? He's gearing up for his rant a little bit later. I know, Paul.
The only thing that I was thinking as I was watching it, aside from pretty much just seeing red, is that if you were looking for someone to get an adaptation of this and make it done well, why not try and get, I don't know, Guillermo del Toro or someone that actually likes this stuff?
Oh, hey, guys, how about a Japanese director?
Yeah.
God forbid we should, could have hired one of those motherfuckers. No, we had this white British dude who has no business directing this anime material.
Bong Joon-ho.
There's a laundry list of it, no pun intended, of there's a dry cleaning list of
Okay.
I'm getting a little deep there. The only reason Sanders didn't direct the Baywatch remake is he couldn't get The Rock to fuck him. I think work your way through that one, folks.
Oh, good Lord.
In the future, the line between human and machine is disappearing, just like the line between human and decent film adaptions.
All this narration.
Yeah, we get a lot. Yeah, folks.
The first 15 minutes was just telling us what was going to be happening.
Well, there's a lot of print on the screen, and then ScarJo starts running her mouth. Because why does she always have to narrate her films? I'm tired of hearing her voice. Like, she doesn't even have that good of a voice to do voiceover. Get somebody else. She does it like Harrison Ford did in Blade Runner. She just delivers all the lines flat, like she didn't want to be there. She did not want to be in this movie, by the way.
So much of this movie, it was supposed to be like a female-led Blade Runner.
Oh, well, yeah, there's some Blade Runner-esque.
And that was the problem. They wanted it to be more
that.
like Blade Runner than they were about going with the source material.
I'm loath to say that it did anything right, but the major narrating is actually something from the original because she has a lot of thoughts about the nature of identity and where humanity is going that she does tell you, but she actually is able to emote while doing it.
Well, they wrote the text on the screen,
right?
And then they showed us exactly what they wrote on the screen. And then I felt like I should just get the book.
Oxygen levels are dropping. Unlike Paul Hawkins' blood pressure, which was no doubt rising upon seeing these whacked out Flash Gordon costumes in this opening sequence. So when you finally get to some film, it's these crazy red costumes in a gurney with somebody's on, which it turns out to be, I guess it's ScarJo on the gurney. And they have like those face masks from Flash Gordon's with the readings. It's just, again, we're thrown right off the deep end in this. Yeah, the narration doesn't really help to set up anything. It's just
because they're showing it on the screen anyway. Either show us or tell us. Do not show and tell. I can see it with my eyes. I'm not blind.
Yeah, I know.
You can tell. You don't have to tell me and show it to me.
And during this, the credits are still running. So the next credit comes up. It says Beat Takashi Kitano. His nickname is really Beat Off, but he dropped the off to look more cool Or look, god damn it, I butchered that whole joke for American audiences. Hey, oh, this fucked my way all the way through that. Okay. Chin Han, because Wang Lo refused to appear in this turd. Hey-oh. Oh, come on. Look, you got a whole film. I can get one or two of these.
Dude, I'm depressed by how bad this movie was, and I'm just...
I know, I'm not making it any better. I know.
No, we're linking arms and trying to get through.
We haven't even fucking started.
Yeah, I know. Paul hasn't even started.
10, 15 minutes in.
Ghost in the Shell, because we had to remind you twice in the last 5 minutes what turd you were watching. Did you notice they did the opening credit? The film is named twice. It's earlier and then right now.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't understand why they did that twice.
They keep overtelling everything.
Oh, maybe that's it. Yeah, they keep. Yeah, you might have missed it because there's. Yeah, because she's still fucking talking in the microphone. Entire opening robot assembly sequence plays like some cosmetic procedure the Real Housewives would get on a weekly basis. That could have been read a little better, but we'll go with that. I guess that was really for Griff more than anybody else. But they bring her in. She was in some kind of accident. We don't know what the problem was, and they save her brain. We should mention she was human. And they save her brain and they slap it in a cyborg body, and that's really a succinct way of explaining this very long 6-minute sequence at the beginning of the film.
And the start of my issues with this
Here we
film,
go.
because she was not this old when she was cyberized.
Exactly.
Oh, really?
She was a
like,
girl.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. She was a runaway. Yeah, we'll talk about that. It's okay. Just breathe. You too, Hawkins. You'd have a hard time breathing as well if you were just brought to life wearing a horrendous Winona Ryder-styled wig for hair. 6-minute mark. Holy shit. Is it a wig? Because her hair was so distracting in this film. It's like somebody just took a dump on her head.
Okay, pick your battles.
Well, I'm going to pick this one
They were
because we have
trying
to
to make
look
her
at
look
her.
Asian and did a terrible job at it.
Oh,
They
man.
did the same with her eye
Exactly.
makeup. They made her eye makeup. As soon as she opened her eyes, I was like, oh,
Oh my
really?
God. No. Did you notice during the movie how her eyes became more narrow?
And,
Yeah.
Go ahead,
and
Paul.
just in case you were wondering, that hair looked like it was taken directly out of the Ghost in the Shell Arise series that they made a few years ago.
There's that, or Griff, I was going to say that somebody stole that wig from Aeon Flux, wiped their ass with it, and then stuck it on ScarJo's head. It's the same hair. It's just a little shorter.
It's the hair from Ian Flux's sister.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're right. Folks, if
They
you
stole
heard
that after they stole the costumes from the leftovers from the Fifth Element.
and we'll talk about that. Yes, there's a lot of that going on. All right,
Actually,
hang in there.
yes.
We made you a new body, one that isn't even Japanese. Hey-oh. But your mind, your soul, your ghost is still in there. In case you're wondering what the ghost of the title stood for, personally, I thought it stood for Whitey. Hey-oh. All right. The first of her kind. A white actor taking over an Asian role? Only if you discount Mickey Rooney, Katharine Hepburn, Jim Sturgis, Marlon Brando, Boris Karloff, John Wayne, Yul Brynner, David Carradine, Justin Chatwin, Noah Ringer, Tilda Swinton, and Emma Stone.
And apparently Ed Screen in a new movie.
Oh, Ed Screen? Oh, him too?
Oh, no, in the new Hellboy.
Oh, he's
Oh,
playing.
boy.
Jesus Christ. So there you go, folks. There's your laundry list of people. White actors taking over Asian roles. This is not really surprising in Hollywood, but boy, how was it just grossly rejected here by ScarJo? As soon as she was announced for the casting, there was an uprising.
Well, that's the thing. When the announcement came out, and I was like, I'm sorry, who's playing the Major? I was just like, you couldn't find anyone else that would
There's
even
a ton of
remotely
Asian
close.
actresses and very
Like-
good ones that could do this role easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed her name to make it work for a white actress.
The person that popped into my head when I was like, okay, someone playing the Major, like the beginning of the Major. How about Rinko Kikuchi?
Right, there's
from
like
Pacific Rim?
there literally is a huge
Yeah,
laundry list
yeah.
of very good Asian actresses who would fit this role perfectly.
Absolutely.
That speak English and can function to American audiences and foreign audiences.
In the film, almost like specifically the film, the Major very, very rarely actually uses her mouth to speak because it's less comfortable for her. So you could have had someone else actually be the Major,
do
run
her
around, do the
voice.
stuff, and then get someone else to do the voice.
Okay, I
if you
could
really
see
needed
that.
to.
If you really, they could have went that way, but no, they decided.
Wow, yeah.
All right, that's a good
Interesting.
point, Paul. Thanks. 1 year later, hey, Blade Runner called. They'd like you to stop using their futuristic dystopian landscape city shots, please. There you go, folks. I mentioned this a little earlier, Blade Runner. A lot of Blade Runner. It's shot after shot here. Like directly cribbed from a lot of the Blade Runner
my
shots that
goodness.
Ridley
Well,
Scott did.
that's why it made me want to fall asleep, because I just want to fall asleep until Blade Runner 2049 came out.
Exactly.
And almost based on this shot, one of my alternate titles was Scarlett and the Holograms.
That's funny.
I love it.
I like that, Paul.
That's
That was really good. Film is constantly trying to be artistic like the anime, but fails at every turn. Pretty much like director Rupert Sanders trying to get a cocaine erection before he can bone ScarJo in his trailer.
Come on.
Well, I don't think I'm that far off the mark there, Griff. And I embrace change. The only thing actor Michael Wincott has changed is his usual villain roles to appearing in turds like this one. Although he still sounds like he smokes about 2 packs a day, 10-minute mark. He plays the head of Hanka Robotics. I can't even pronounce it. Hanka.
What's it, Hanaka?
Hey, is it Hanaka or is it Hanka? I thought it was
No,
Hanka.
it was
It's Hanka.
Hanka.
It's Hanka.
Hanka,
Yeah, I think it's Hanka.
Which is ridiculous because being
know.
in Japan, it would be Hanka.
Yeah.
That's how it would be said. That's what I would said in this one.
Michael Wincott shows up. He is the head of Hanka Robotics, and he's in the sequence where they're having a little dinner party, a little business dinner party in this building. We're going to find out everything's about to go to hell here in a second. So basically, she gets reborn into this body, and she's contracted by this division to
Section
go
9.
on, thank you, to perform certain duties for Section 9 and take out bad guys and shit like that. And she works with a whole team of people, and we'll get to them in a second. Basically, she's on this building because they cited they're looking for, there's a problem that shows up at this robotic company. Michael, I don't know if you guys remember Michael Wincott. He was the villain in The Crow, and a great villain turn in that. And he's been a villain in about 7 other films too, but apparently I'm getting crickets here, so we're going to keep going on that. So for anybody who saw The fucking Crow, he was the villain in The Crow. I'm going in, but not before disrobing to reveal a skin-tight bodysuit that makes Johannson look like she's about to take a futuristic yoga class around the 11-minute mark. If ScarJo were actually nude, it would have been less distracting than that fucking costume. It was terrible. It was a really that's a terrible costume choice, guys.
You say it looked like she was like a yoga class. I thought it looked like she was like a crash test dummy.
Oh yeah. Some reviewer called her a Barbie doll. Then
all right, we go with that.
Her body looked like a Barbie
doll. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Paul, what do you got?
She looked like the Wii Fit thing.
Yeah.
All right, we might get Paul with the win on that one.
And also, your point of being if she was actually nude, it would be less distracting.
It would.
I mean, just in case people aren't aware, in the anime, she is.
Oh, is she really nude? Oh,
yeah.
Maybe. Oh, I got something to do later then. Shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's a relatively anatomically correct body, and like, that body has the camouflage in it, and Major kind of uses her form as a way to make people underestimate her.
Oh,
so that's why she look like that.
Huh. Okay, that's much better. I'm going to be busting out my Asian massage oil later on. Yeah, I guess that's just me. No, so anyway, she's on a building, and now she decides to go in against orders to save the people in there who are getting shot up. There's a bunch of geishas that show up that turn out to be robots and cyborgs. They start shooting up the place because these other Yakuza guys start coming in there because they're assassinating, basically. They assassinate Michael Wincott, who gets killed. But anyway, she flies in and falls off a building, slams through a window. It's this, supposed to be this stylistic action scene, which I guess is in the opening of the original anime film. I don't remember. She goes up, climbs up walls, and shoots people upside down. It's stuff you see. It was everything that was in the trailer, honestly. It was that scene in the trailer.
She has superpowers.
Yeah.
The Major doesn't have fucking superpowers.
Okay, all right, Paul. Paul's getting a little. Get him a tranquilizer, quick. So basically,
I will say I would watch a spin-off with those like robot geishas.
Yeah, they were marginally interesting.
They were badass.
She gets injured during that, and the next line is someone says, you okay? Well, I know who the someone is. Here we go. Not really. Hey, how did Tommy Lee Jones' character from Small Soldiers get in this turd? The 14-minute mark. That fucking guy, Pilaf or Pilu or whatever the fuck is the Game of Thrones guy? My God, we'll talk about him a little later.
Nope.
I don't want to get to him right now.
Honor. You really wanted to give me a platform to go rant about him.
It's coming up. Just give me 2 more, and then you can rant. Hold on. I just want to get through that Tommy Lee Jones joke, and then I didn't realize he was a big Game of Thrones person. So hang on. Anyway, she goes back, and they're looking. The guy, the head of Hataka or Hanka is named Osmond. They're getting information about who might be killing the employees of this robotics company. A message was left at each of the crime scenes by someone identifying himself as Kuze. Not to be confused with Kuzi, which you'll definitely need to wrap around your beer in order to stomach this expositional debriefing scene around the 17-minute mark. See, that was kind of clever, and I'm getting crickets on that. All right. Come on, nobody thought Kuzi? Oh, man.
No, it's Kuzi Control.
All right. Yeah, Griff's down to singing because she's so just upset with this whole fucking movie. What do you got, Paul?
No, it's Kuzi Control.
Do you mind if I just let some stuff out at this point?
No, go ahead. You gotta do an emotional dump. Do it now. Go ahead.
This film, based off of the original Ghost in the Shell, has decided to take elements from every other Ghost in the Shell outing that they've ever done and fuck it up so badly. They've taken the character's name from the second series and made that the name of the quote-unquote bad guy that they're following from the original film, who isn't actually a bad guy, but is known as the Puppet Master, which... no element of that is anywhere in this fucking film. Anyway, on top of that, Bartow doesn't have the eyes he's known for, and they just decided to wire that in later in the film. I'm sure I'll talk about that when that comes up. And then also, fuck all mention of anyone else in Section 9 that isn't immediately apparent. I can list off for you, if you really wanted me to, the name of everybody in Section 9 because of how much I like it, and you couldn't list off anyone's names other than the Major, Bartow, and Aramaki if you absolutely had to. I guarantee it.
Hey, did everybody get all that? Everybody get all that? Yeah. Holy shit, man! Wow. I just like strays and they like me. You know who didn't like you, Pilu? The hair and makeup department for slapping on that white buzz cut hair on his head that makes him look like an aging G.I. Joe member at the 20-minute mark. Okay, Griff. So first of all, who does he... I didn't realize he was on Game of Thrones, so I'm a little out of the loop on this one.
His name on Game of Thrones is Euron, as in urine.
Ew.
Greyjoy.
Oh my.
I refer to him as Urine Greyjoy because he pisses away so much valuable plot time.
Ouch. Is he dead already? Is he dead or is he still in the show?
No. Oh, he's alive and well. And he was introduced at the end of last season. He's kind of a big deal this season. He's like Jack Sparrow with no tattoos, and
oh boy,
you can tell that he very much does not brush his teeth. He stole the election from his niece, and is the pirate now, like the noble pirate, the military pirate for the seas, and he's trying to marry the main queen, and he asked the queen's brother, does she like the finger up the bum?
Well, don't we all though? Does he?
Boy, well, there we go.
Does he have the same hair or no?
No, it's more like he kind of looks like a dirtbag version of Pacey from Dawson's Creek.
Oh, that's funny. All right, that's a great reference. And also, is he what nationality? Does he have an accent in that? Because he has an American accent here.
Yeah, it's like Scottish mixed with English.
Paul, is that character Asian in the comics or is he American? I know it sounds like a dumb question, but I didn't know if there was a mix of like.
It is a little difficult to answer that question because generally what happens when it comes to the cyberizing and going mostly cyborg is that most of the characters have the option of kind of having a neutral-esque look so that they can kind of fit in wherever.
Okay.
I would say that most of them don't look stereotypically Asian in the anime, but they've kind of done that for most of the characters in there. So okay. I would say he's not too far off from the look of him in the anime, but he doesn't have the character that Bartow has. He's just a guy they got to play the part. That's all it seems.
And the guy from Game of Thrones. All right, these Game of Thrones people got to stop showing up in all these other crappy.
No,
products.
no. Actually,
let's wrap it up with that.
His big part in Game of Thrones came after Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna excuse him. There's no excuse for Emilia Clarke though, showing up in that fucking Terminator shit. But all right. That's a whole separate podcast, folks. Hanka Towers, head office of Hanka Robotics. Swap out Hanka with Hunka, and now you'd have Elvis Presley playing an Asian. Hey-o!
Oh, boy.
Man, that was a good one. Hey, do you know what's a glitch and what's me? We're still trying to figure that out, Scarjo. That's kind of another hail. So anyway, she gets injured. She goes back to see Juliette Binoche. We should mention, I'm not going to talk a lot about Juliette Binoche, other than she was making her mortgage payment by appearing in this stupid fucking movie. Such a talented actress, Juliette Binoche. She basically is the lady who puts this chick back together every time she gets hurt. Is she a character in the anime, Paul?
Nope.
Oh, thank you. All right, that was yeah. Don't need to go any further than that. All right, so they fucking just called up Juliette. Rupert probably called up Juliette and said, "Hey, can you show up for 2 days, and we'll shoot you out, maybe 3 days.
We'll pay you some money."
Yeah, we'll pay you in yen.
Oh, jeez.
I wrote down my note, like, they really don't actually want to go into the same realm that the anime does, because in the anime, the whole concept of identity, and not only just who are you, because the Major is constantly asking herself who she is,
Right, it's a question of
but
identity.
also like what does cyberizing a human actually do to them? And there's also a running theme throughout where the Major doesn't actually know 100% if she was ever truly human.
Yeah, and that I wish that was explored because there's a lot of metaphysical stuff that they question the nature of humanity and reality and stuff like that. And that's just giving lip service here to stupid action scenes. None of it's explored. I would have liked to see a 2-hour film about that. I think that would have been more. But we kind of got that with Ex Machina, right? Didn't that kind of cover that territory? Anybody see that?
Did that quite well. Do you know what also did it really well?
Blade Runner.
The 1995 Ghost in the Shell film.
But I'm bummed. Hey, you see any bad code headed my way? Pull me out, Griff.
That's what she said.
Boy, slow ride into home on that one, but all right, there you go. I'll take the lead by walking around like I got a pair of chopsticks shoved up my ass at 28-minute mark. Why is Johannson strutting around like she's always on her way to a pharmacy to pick up meds? Her walk is
cyborg.
Her walk is terrible. Is that how they walk? Is that how cyborgs walk?
Bad.
Griff, you notice that? She's always walking like this weird, like a trucker. Why don't you just walk normally? I don't understand. She's genetically engineered to walk like a human. Why is she walking like the Terminator? She's not even a Terminator.
Okay, I have to say something. My mom was watching this with me. She goes, why does she look like she has something stuffed up both holes?
Oh, shit. All right. So your mom took it further than even I did. All right. I thought I was being polite.
I was just going to say, like, obviously because she's a cyborg, that's not enough. No, she's a cyborg in a Western film.
It really is. Yes. She's walking, like she just got off a horse.
That too at the end, that this movie ended like a Western.
It doesn't make any sense, and it was a bad choice, I think, on her, an acting choice. I'm just here for the girls and a beer. This is also what Rupert Sanders says every time he signs on to direct a film. All right, that was pretty good, right?
Oh, boy, that was good.
Does he ever direct a film with a non-female lead?
I think he's only done this and...
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Okay, so maybe the next film. So, ladies...
Well, it's been harder for him to, like, no pun intended, get jobs with female leads.
The truth is, I wasn't built to dance. I was built to take over Asian roles. So now they're trying to track down information about where this guy is. His name is Kuze, and he's hacked into a bunch of different... He's a ghost out in the network, and he's the one who's responsible for killing all these employees. And now they have to go to some Yakuza bar to kind of track down, get some information from some fucking guy. Oh, he's there. They think he's there. So there's a big weirdo dance scene. Not dance scene, just a torture scene, which I really should be explaining better than this. She gets tased a couple times.
Yeah, that was.
And then there was that Asian guy with the weird skin, and he was acting.
Yeah, what was the matter with his face?
Yeah, I don't know. But then he started.
Supposed to be,
I don't understand. Like, a lot of the cyborgy additions to people don't make any sense. One guy has his whole jaws as one enhancement, and a lot of this stuff just rolls by. And it doesn't really stick. Paul, is that pretty much how it was going in the anime, too? Was this just...
Not really. Most cyberizing stuff is done with implants in the brain or changing organs out.
Right.
The only people that look different are people that have been upgraded in such a way, like generally for security or illegal mods that will enable them to rob a bank or something like that.
Okay.
So, like, this sort of thing doesn't look right at all.
No, on screen it doesn't really. It's ugly. It's ugly looking on screen.
Yeah. And one guy, I honestly thought he was just sweating because it was hot in there.
Oh, maybe the guy, the head guy, the guy with the glasses. Yeah, it could have been. I don't know. He was acting whacked out. Collaborate with Hanker Robotics and be destroyed. Unfortunately, what wasn't destroyed in this explosion around the 34-minute mark was Johansson's god-awful wig. I do keep circling back to that a lot, only because that's all I got. That was it from Griff. The bomb goes off. She saves dumbass Pilu or Pilaf or whatever his name is, and who gets blinded in this blast. And she falls apart again. They just slap her back together. It's so... when your hero is invulnerable, it's hard to get behind them. It's hard to really, there's no sense of danger at that point because... they're just getting patched back up, dude. It's just, they take her apart and they put her back together. Like a transformer. Who gives a shit?
Have we passed by the scene with the hooker yet?
Well, no, not yet. We're getting there. Hang on. Okay, I do have a note about that. It's coming right up. How many fingers am I holding up? ScarJo gives the best review of this turd around the 17-minute mark. It's actually not 17. Yeah. I don't know why we're way past 37-minute mark. You like that one, Griff?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. I I bet Paul really liked that one. Yeah, she gives the finger to that peel-off guy. Basically, I should mention that the Game of Thrones guy got his eyeballs burned out, so they stuck these round cameras, which look really fucking stupid in live action. And, this is my next... hold on, I got a line for this. Hold on, let me do this, and then you can chime in. Say something nice. Well, I would... But you look like a complete idiot with those tiny cameras in your eye sockets. Again, what works in anime will not always translate to live action. 38-minute mark. Paul, you can back me up on that. It looks really fucking stupid.
It did look bad, and also I don't understand why they bothered working a backstory for his eyes into this film. It was pointless.
Oh, wow.
And it's not covered in the slightest in the films, or I'm fairly certain it's not covered in the anime either.
Oh, really?
Those are his eyes because of his previous work in the military.
Oh, so why do we need a whole scene with that then? I don't understand why that was...
Oh.
God, they look terrible. Can you take that off so I can see your face? Here you go, Dee Dee. Film teases some ScarJo cyborg lesbian action around the 41-minute mark, then pussies out and cuts the next scene, probably because Rupert Sanders prematurely ejaculated in his pants.
That was so weird, and then nothing ever came of that. It was like a non sequitur.
I'm like, here's one decent scene.
Done.
So basically, she wants to explore her humanity anymore because she looks at herself in a mirror, a double of herself, and she's feeling up her lips. So she goes down to some brothel, gets a chick, and they're hanging out, and she feels up her lips, and then the scene just cuts away, and never goes back to that.
I thought they were going to kiss.
Oh, man. I thought anything. I would have taken anything at that point. Yeah, there's no cyborg
so
sex.
Weird, and then I thought maybe they'd come back to that later.
No, that chick never shows up again.
It was just a throwaway.
It literally is a throwaway. Is that in the thing, Paul?
It is done so much better in one episode of the anime, and it is covered... rather graphically in the manga.
See? I got something to do
be
tonight.
Careful which one you get. Basically, in the manga, because I don't think they cover it that much in the film, she, on top of working for Section 9, is running an illegal thing where basically it's same gender sex goes on and you record the feelings and you sell that on the black market.
Right.
That's interesting.
Okay.
See, that would have been, again, a lot more interesting than what
interesting,
yeah. It's funny.
It would have gave some soul to this movie. There was just nothing.
That's funny. That's the one scene Dee Dee perked up. She's like, "Hey, why?" That's usually why are you cutting this scene?
At 28 minutes, I marked down. It seems like they were at the climax of the movie. I actually paused the thing so I could see the time because I'm like, "Oh wow, is it over already?" Because it seemed like it was almost over.
I'm looking at that.
28 minutes
with that concept, taping and the intrigue and the motivation. Holy balls, that would have been a
there
great...
could have been a unique little love story built into that. That would have, I think, would have worked. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. It's a shame. It's given complete lip service.
Everything out of this movie.
Yeah,
that would have been,
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's from Rupert Sanders. He wouldn't have left that.
No, and at this point, I'm like, what movie were we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Enough. We need him alive. What we didn't need, however, was this kiddie pool action scene around the 47-minute mark where Johannson gets some more mileage out of her yoga suit, or maybe scuba suit. That's where she goes, chases on that one guy for the information. There's two guys in a trash truck that try to kill the Juliette Binoche character, and they kind of stop her because they're killing everybody who's involved in the robotics thing, or the Kuze guy. And the team intercepts them, and there's a big chase scene. Of course, there's parkour shit going on, and she chases them into it like just a freestanding water thing, which I didn't understand why there was all that standing water there. I didn't so it's just to look good.
Right out of the film.
Yeah, oh, thank you. All right, so yeah, there's a lot of, she beats the crap out of this guy and then gets the information. Well, she captured him, doesn't really get him the information. He was using human minds to create, so basically they do get a location and to go next from this guy before he ends up hanging himself in that cell. And then they moving along. We get this line. He was using human minds to create a network of his own, visually represented by extras from Doctor Strange. The 54-minute mark. A lot of monks in that scene.
Oh yeah.
I guess I'm not alone on that one. Yeah, wasn't it? That was a weird. Was that from the anime?
Well, I was gonna say if we could jump back just a smidgen to the garbage truck guy. Number one, the garbage truck guy is someone from the anime. The scene on the water is directly from the film.
Right.
And then why, when talking about this stuff, why do they look so fucking bored?
I know everybody's
bored.
Everybody was. Yeah, I know.
It's very emotionless.
Yes, that's the problem with there's no emotional hook.
Nobody emotes at all.
Nope. Paul, at what point did you strip naked and start running in the streets screaming? After a while?
About half an hour ago.
Yeah. With apologies to your neighbors if they are listening to the show and live on his block. Tell me who you are. I'm actor Michael Pitt. Perhaps you remember me from such great films as Jailbait, The Village, and Seven Psychopaths.
I'm like, why are you wasting him in this movie?
So, in case you're wondering, folks, Michael Pitt is the big villain Kuze. Why is Pitt decked out like a homeless Jedi around the 56-minute mark?
Yeah, for real. And then he gets this very terrible, like, Japanese accent.
He's terrible. This guy is just, and he's supposed to be Japanese, folks. He's supposed to be Japanese.
Hideo is his name, and at the end, when they finally say, like, your name is Hideo, then suddenly he's got this weird Japanese accent.
Okay.
Oh, no, I was going to, go ahead.
In my defense, he finds out who he was before he had his brain put in somebody else. And then realizes, I need to speak like this.
Oh my God.
Hey, I didn't say it was right.
No, that was good. That was good.
Well.
I am as they made me. Pitt spits out all of his dialogue like either a malfunctioning speak and spell or Max Headroom on lithium.
It was like Max Headroom.
Oh my God! It was so annoying.
Oh my God!
Glitching.
Oh my God!
Oh
God!
Yes,
that's
what's
totally Max.
Paul,
Max Headroom.
is this fucking guy? Like, is this an actual guy in the movie? Like, all right, here we go. Here, Paul's taking off his clothes. Get ready.
So, the puppet master in the film, he is actually an AI that has fully gained sentience. He is Project 2501 in the anime, and he is being held captive, and he is reaching out and breaking into these geisha bots and other things in an attempt to get free and to get noticed. And then in the second anime, there is a character called Hideo Kuze, and I actually don't really want to say exactly who he is because it's a really good end to the series, but they have taken that guy's name and a sort of idea maybe from the film and gone, kiss, he go, good, do that. Fuck this.
All right, so there's a lot of...
Wow, they really put all this thing in a blender and just mixed it all up.
So basically, she finds out information, and he says, the ghost is yours, remember. Definitely remember that when you're swapping out Asian actors for white chicks. Beside the point, she finds out that she may be being lied to by the company, and because this guy was lied to by the company. Anyway, guys, it's a white guy with blonde hair.
Yeah, he was Julian Assange. That's what I thought.
He was the Julian Assange in his film.
The cyborg Julian Assange.
Yes,
and Mike,
with the win.
He's grossly miscast here, and they should have got, an Asian actor. But aside from that, they should have got somebody who was more suitable for the role. Not really him. He doesn't have the screen presence to stand up as a villain. He's not really a villain, I guess, if you look at it.
No, he was like,
all right. I know where to find her. Submerged under Hong Kong harbor like a cyborg Little Mermaid around the hour and 5-minute mark. So basically, she goes on the run and then hides out in Hong Kong harbor, which is polluted, by the way. It wouldn't look as clear as it did, and nor have jellyfish that were alive in it. So basically, she comes back up on the boat, and the dumbass Pilu's there with his goofy eyes, and they have a little confab. He says, "Stop saying shit like that. You're gonna piss me off." Paul Hawkins would have said too late. So there you go.
Yeah, especially since the boat scene in the original film is one of the best scenes in the film, just based on the major.
Did we just shit all over one of your best? We're sorry.
Yeah,
Paul.
because Barto is asking her why she dives, because she actually dived down. She has air tanks on her back because she needs that to be able to float back up. Right. And he's saying that one thing goes wrong and you're at the bottom of the river, you're gone. And her entire answer is like she feels hope in the moment when it catches, and it's a way of making her feel again.
Oh, see, that's a great scene. Again,
I know.
Yeah.
Seriously, they took out all the good parts.
You're right. Let's take out anything marginally interesting.
Parts. That's why I said they took the soul out of this film.
I took the ghost out of it.
It's the shell. Yeah, it literally is the shell.
But I'm bummed.
No. Basically, it's like one of the stories you played during one of those early Nintendo NES, like the prologues.
Yeah, exactly. We cannot control her. She is no longer a viable asset. Unlike ScarJo, who still seems to get cast in major roles she has no business taking. When are they going to stop that? Is it ever going to run out with this woman? I mean, I think she's talented, but Jesus, look, can we give her something else to do? I think of this. I'm tired of seeing her action shit. And I'm tired of seeing, Griff, how was she in that one with did she show up in a comedy where she killed somebody?
Yeah, she did.
This year?
But...
Not good. All right, that's another. All right. So
I'm gonna say it would have been better if somebody else had been
casted.
so
Yeah.
ScarJo.
See, she might have a little bit out of her league.
jeez.
So we can't win with this
Poor
woman.
woman.
She wants to be. I
know she wants to be.
I admire her. She really, really wants to be that girl. It was never that girl.
Maybe that's it. Greg.
She's an amazing ingenue, dramatic actress.
Right, but she's never that girl.
No, she wants to be the combination of Goldie Hawn and Kate McKinnon.
She's not funny.
She needs to do more roles like her and Don John. That type of thing.
That's what
there we go. Okay, maybe that.
To just bring it back to the scene, I believe it's the scene where someone says she's not the Major anymore, and I just wrote in all caps, "You're fucking right."
But I'm bumped. There you go.
Yeah.
We never needed your consent. Well, apparently not, since his cultural appropriation turd got released to the general public anyway. Okay, there you go with that one. So basically, she gets caught by the company, and what's her name? She was ordered to be terminated by this Cutter guy. We haven't really talked about that asshole. I don't remember his name, but he's just not a very good actor. Just a typical villain role, like the Blade Runner villain role. Anyway, see, he orders Juliette Binoche to wipe out and just end her because she's not controllable, so she's not a viable asset to the company. We don't need her anymore. Anyway, Juliette Binoche says, fuck that. She's going to help her escape. Here's your rail pass. Go. Go down this hallway kicking ass just like you did in Iron Man 2. Around 12-minute mark. How many times do we have to see ScarJo perform the same damn moves in films? You're never going to get that Black Widow film, so give it a rest already. Oh, you surprised me. Not as surprised as I was to see a female Asian actress with actual lines of dialogue in this turn around the hour and 15-minute mark. I was generally shocked by this point. The mother. I'm talking about when ScarJo was with it, and that woman opens up the door. It's an actual Asian woman speaking English, and I was like, holy shit. Like, that's horrible. We're supposed to, this is an Asian property. It's an anime. And that's pretty sad when I got to be shocked to see an actual Asian actress in a film. Griff, were you not? Like, she's the only one that has dialogue in the movie.
The only thing I could think of, the reason why she would be speaking English is maybe we were actually looking at this all wrong and they're all speaking Japanese. It's just being translated for us.
Well, they should have established that at the beginning of the film, sir.
This is the scene when she starts talking and she's saying, oh, that's my daughter's from Toko. And I just wrote, no, fuck you.
Well, there's a line.
You're not trying to take this back.
No, that's what the line says. I see her. The mother says, I see her in so many young women. And I said, including ScarJo, who beat out every Asian actress to play this Asian role.
Yeah,
ouch.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
It doesn't fall. But does the it is. But does the fault, like, why did ScarJo agree to take the role? Like, I think maybe some fault's on her for saying maybe should have said, look, I don't think I'm your person for this type of material. I think maybe should go to an Asian actress. She didn't even say that.
I thought they were going to reveal that, like, she had an American father.
No,
indeed, you don't.
Yeah,
don't
but
no.
I genuinely
that
thought
didn't
they were going to.
They said that bitch was Asian.
America.
Oh, that's true. That could have went that way, but nope, didn't do that. Don't send a rabbit to kill a fox or a white woman to play an anime lead. Hey-o. Okay, so beat Takashi Kitano, who's the head of this whole team. They get burned, and the organization, Section 9, wants to have this section killed off to wipe them all out. So, but anyway, that guy's the best actor in the film, and he kicks ass. That guy just starts shooting motherfuckers left and right. I wish the film was about him. That guy looks so bored, though. Do you notice him? He was slumped down in his chair. Oh, my God, yeah. He didn't want to be there at all. He didn't want to do this fucking movie. He's like, and when ScarJo walked in, he's like, dude, you couldn't even get an Asian fucking actress? I bet that's what he was thinking the whole time. But he's polite, because he's Asian. He's not going to fucking, like, be rude about it. He's getting a job. But that guy's a legendary actor, by the way, in Japan, I believe. Right, Paul? Takashi Kitano, I think he's well known.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. But...
Yeah, but why? I don't understand why he took it either. I would have been.
I'm surprised he couldn't recommend somebody.
Yeah.
Play the other role.
Slap a wig on him.
No, I think there's a lot of situations where you get the premise, you sign up for it, and you think, oh my God, yes, it's about time. And then you realize once you sign your contract, you're like.
I feel like every Japanese actor was signed on in Japan, and every American actor was signed on in America, and then they all went, oh, who else is in this? And they started to realize that it wasn't an all-American or all-Japanese cast, and they were like, shit. I can tell you they were probably all calling the director Baka under their breath every single day.
I bet you they were. Yeah. Your name was Hideo. Here we go. Both ScarJo and Pitt play this memory reveal scene around the hour and 25-minute mark. Like they're just stand-ins for the actual Asian actors who'll be showing up never. So now we get to the end of the folks. We find out that the Kuze guy and the major character actually know each other and were friends or lovers. They were friends. They were runaways in the street who were abducted by this thing, and their brains are taken out of their bodies and shoved into cyborgs. What's his name got the short end of the stick, that Kuze guy. His face is all, the Max Headroom guy. It's all fucked up. Anyway, they have this meeting where they finally reveal now she remembers all the memories that she had forgotten or they had been suppressing. She stopped taking her meds, which she shoves in the back of her neck. I'm not even going to get into that, folks. Just go watch the fucking original anime, not this film. And it'll all be explained for you. Spider tank now active. Jesus, even the tanks culturally appropriate something. Where does this madness end? 27-minute mark. Fucking tank's a spider.
I think at this point we're just like, come on.
Poor Griff. I know, we're almost there. We're almost,
let it be over.
So, Griff, at that point when you saw the spider tank, you're like, I watched the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing's
like, and it was done better.
Cause it was.
I was like, I wanted steampunk, inappropriate steampunk.
Well, this is
I would watch Wild Wild West.
The point is, the film is so boring it has to slide into like a BAC, which is known as a big action climax. This is the best they can do, just like a CGI spider tank and ScarJo running in circles for the next 25 fucking minutes as she's trying to outrun, which she has no chance against the guns of this spider tank.
Well, and everything is so like technologically advanced, and then they have this clunky spider thing.
Yeah, he's the most dumbest thing.
They would have some streamlined drone that could shoot her down, not some big robotic. At you.
Yeah, if anybody's seen Terminator films, Jesus Christ. It's Cutter. He found us. We, however, found the moment the budget ran out. Here you go. Over having to watch a poorly animated ScarJo leap through this lame action sequence like she was appearing in a Frogger video game around the hour and 28-minute mark. Did you see how badly CGI'd her when she had to leap up? God, that was even Dee Dee's like, fuck.
I know. I was like, geez,
how do you fuck
that?
Better. Yeah, they could have done better. Used a live actor for that or something. You know, guys. Anyway, so she actually rips out one of her own arms to fucking destroy this thing. She does. But there's a line that says, "You came close, you freak." And I said close to being a watchable film. Nope. So basically, she saves Kuze. Kuze disappears into the neural network. He dies. I guess dies. I'm putting that in air quotes. But disappears. And she's alive, but she's in really bad fucking shape. But guess what, guys? They're going to patch her the fuck back up. It doesn't really matter. Nothing means anything in this film. I'm the first of my kind, and I won't be the last. And I wrote, Jesus, I hope not. Thank God this film bombed. We didn't have to get any sequel on this one.
A sequel. God.
Hang on. Last line. I know who I am and what I'm here to do. And that is whitewash the shit out of crappy films like this one. Griffin on credits? Anything?
Okay. I went through. But if I missed, I'll own up to it because I was just like trying to get through it.
You really were not happy about exactly.
Oh my God. I was like.
Twice. You went through it twice.
No, yes, because I thought like there has to be something interesting even about a bad sci-fi movie.
Yeah, and there really is nothing here. It's just such a...
No, it's hey, you know what it's like? It's like a really cool like multi-layer cake that looks amazing, and you cut into it, and it's styrofoam.
I agree. It baffles me that major actresses...
nothing against the source material.
No, that's brilliant. That source...
Like, I want to read the source material.
Me too.
Yeah, folks.
That's what I was thinking during this whole thing.
And folks, we're flushing this, but honestly, we're gonna recommend the manga. But even if you're too lazy to read that, just go rent the movie. It's online. Ghost in the Shell, 1995. It's a brilliant film, and the sequel, right?
The manga is great. The anime. The one thing I will say about the anime film is it is very heavy on identity and.
Yeah, but that's what this film should be. Right. That's the theme of the film.
That's interesting.
But that's the interesting part.
The series is fantastic, and the Major is known for saying a line like several times, which would have been, again, a fantastic way to end this film, even though it doesn't quite touch on any of the actual topic. But she's known for saying the word, "The net is vast and infinite."
Oh, see, that's a good line. Again,
that would have been a much better sort of end to it, because obviously you've got Kuze going into the net at the end.
It ties into stuff. So I guess Dee Dee will be buying this manga for her and her kid. Basically.
Yeah, I might.
Yeah, you might as well. What the fuck, right?
Christmas is coming.
All right, so there you go, folks. That is, oh my God, that
It
is
is.
goes in the shell, man. We slid to the ending on that one. We took it out and played with it a lot longer show. Can we flush it, ladies and gentlemen? Can we please flush it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Flush it down and clean it with the whitewashing.
Oh, whitewash
There
that
you
bowl.
go.
Holy shit. All right, there you
Boy.
go, folks. Consider a flush. That is it for this week. Ooh, holy
Woo.
cow. I want to thank my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest movie mogul Colleen Griffin, and Didi Moreau for stepping in for Polton and Crest. Thank you so much, Didi. We really appreciate you.
Thank
We
you.
we apologize the film was as horrible as it was. Also, I want to thank our special guest tonight, Paul. This ain't your mama's anime, Hawkins. His blood pressure will get back to normal, and he'll put his clothes back on. I hope.
And then you'll have me back on to do Adam Sandler.
Yes,
again.
yeah, exactly. A little bit later on, maybe after October. Yeah, Paul will be back to flush the latest, the next Adam Sandler film, which I don't remember what it is.
I don't care.
You say that now, but you will. So thank you, Paul. We really appreciate it. That's it for this week, folks. We're going to be back next week to torture you with something else. Until then, say goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Nora Crest, and I want to thank you for listening this week and every week as we flush these turds down our cinematic bowl here in the restroom. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play Music so we attract more listeners and you don't miss a single episode. We love feedback, so email us at signalsoffury@gmail.com with your comments and suggestions for future flushes. Also, be sure to check out our home restroom on the net, signalsoffury.com. Until next time, remember, we're here to flush it so you don't have to see it. I'm Nora Crest, and this has been the award-winning Soiled Restroom Cinema.